Hey y'all, a couple of more things that I want to mention about the leaves. So let's go to Matthew chapter 13, verses, we'll start at 31, we'll go to 31 and 32. And this is Jesus talking. He says, another story by way of comparison he set forth before them. So that is, he told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Of all the seeds, it is the smallest, but when it has grown, it is the largest of the garden herbs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and find shelter in its branches. In the midst of the busiest, most demanding season, not only are we producing a fruit for harvest, but we are also providing shelter for others. Now that's something I feel like we just need to take a moment and meditate on. Yes, the gift and the harvest, the fruit that God is producing through us is to benefit others for the glory of God. But also, in the midst of the growing and in the midst of the producing, God has built in us a shelter and a resting place and a safe haven for others. Isn't that amazing? Like, how could I do anymore? I just don't think I can handle anymore. I can't add one more thing to my plate. And looking at the tree, it's not going to require anything else of the tree. The leaves are already there. They're already shading those branches. So of all of the seeds, it is the smallest. But when it has grown, it is the largest of all the garden herbs. It becomes a tree so that the birds of the air can come and find shelter in its branches. Shelter is the word that I wanted to bring out. Leaves, shelter. So his leaf shall not fade or wither, and everything he does shall prosper and come to maturity. Leaves shelter others. Leaves protect and shelter the fruit and the harvest. Also, if you, I have always loved hide and seek or an Easter egg hunt or anything like that. So whenever we've been to pick apples or peaches or even cherries, grapes are the same way. You got to look behind those leaves. I've told you we've got a garden right now. And actually this past week, the pumpkin leaves can be, they're ginormous, huge. Some, not all. We have small ones, we have big ones. And I was looking in the leaves and I found a pumpkin. Not just a tiny one. It's a big pumpkin, but it was hidden, but with the leaf. And so those leaves actually protect the pumpkins from the scorching sun, so that the fruit is ready at the appointed time. If those leaves were not there protecting that fruit, the heat would burn it up. So the fruit or the harvest is protected by the leaves during its growing season. And this is something we don't really like to talk about because we'd like to think now, we're ready now. Okay, God, we can handle it now. But the Lord knows that we have to grow and flex our muscles and develop in order to carry the weight of the glory that the promise he's got for us is going to manifest, right? So when he brings us into our destiny, which we've already talked about, is on his calendar. It is set for an appointed time. He is not going to miss it. In order to get us to that point, we need to be shaded Just like he hid Moses in the cleft of the rock. Moses was like, God, I want to see your glory. And God said, it'll kill you. But you hide in the rock. Hide in the cleft of the rock. And so we are hidden until such an appointed time. And our leaves, or leaves on a tree, shield and protect it from birds coming in, protect it from any number of things, you name it. But leaves protect the fruit until it's time for harvest. We'll pick up for tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.